All right, everybody, and our first poet of the night is an incredible community, dedicated soul that has contributed so much to the Alivio Open Mic progress. She is a vendor liaison. She helps us recruit talent and artists, and I'm so proud to call her my friend. She is Xitlalic Guijosa-Osuna, and she is a writer, printer, card maker from Southeast Los Angeles. She is the creator and owner of Tarjetitas con Amor, a handmade greeting card company. She is also the vendor coordinator for Alivio Open Mic in the city of Bell. Without further ado, please welcome Xitlalic Guijosa-Osuna.
Generation Ketchup. What do you mean there's no ketchup? The dismay in my nephew's eyes said everything. And it only made me want to laugh out loud and offer him some salsa that my madre made the night before for dinner. How am I supposed to eat my eggs? His eyes nearly popped out of their socket. There's salsa right there, kid. I pointed to the glass dish that held the concoction my mother so diligently made, roasting chiles de árbol inside of the house like we all needed our sinuses drained. It has tomatoes and garlic and salt and chile. It's like ketchup, but with the kick. Here stood my nephew in disbelief, asking the most simple question known to a first-generation/immigrant Mexican household. Why don't you all have ketchup in the house? There's never any ketchup. Dear second-generation Mexican, you have entered the realm that should be in an American household, but isn't quite American because migration is still real here. Our roots are still over there. And they only just started with me, your first generation tia, and you, my second generation nephew. See, ketchup when I was younger was a distant concept. There were some, but it wasn't necessarily like it is with you. We would only get it when we were well behaved and we were treated to the magic that was McDonald's. And your grandmother would take the extra ketchup packets home. Same with mustard. That yellow thing never even was recognized until I was about 10 years old. I was given a mustard flour and it tasted divine. Yes, I said divine. But ketchup, as I quickly learned, was nothing but rotten tomatoes, mashed up together with vinegar and maybe some sugar. Ketchup was not a veggie either, so it never made it into our table. There are only a few things ketchup was acceptable with cóctel de camarón, con papa frita. Cuando visitas la tía gringa that has been living in Highland Park since the late 1960s. Ketchup is para los gringos, nephew. We have salsa and tapatio. We have chile peppers of all sorts of color. My second poem is called For All the Poets That Mention the tamal lady in their poem. For all the poets that mention the tamal lady in their poem that could only offer her one line, I have something to tell you. There is a woman that is resistant, that everyone admires. She is the one that sings out to the heavens her arrival and her traditional morning blessing. She projects her voice, her heavenly voice, letting us all know, yes, you are home. You often see her as a reminder of life from far away across borders. She is the reminder that home isn't so far and that all is good, you'll survive. She carries her handmade gifts from God knows who and where, and you wonder how she kept them warm just for you. She even offers a free facial when you get close enough to the compartment where she keeps her gifts steaming hot. She is a blessing to most, and to those who oppose her, don't know the beauty of her work because they've lived a sorry, sad, bland life without sazon, without taste, without knowledge from the ancestors, so they take away the heavenly gifts she so meticulously created and they destroy them. But you can see they want to try them too. But don't be fooled, she is resilient as you can hear her project her voice up to the heaven and your heart beats with glee because yes, she is back. with your ever awaiting morning blessing, and you want to sing along with her, but you are too shy, so you patiently wait for her gifts to warm your belly. So you ask for 2 de pollo, 1 de puerco, 4 de rajas, media de elote para el cafecito. And you thank her for not giving up, and you exchange smiles, and you both continue on with your daily struggles. So our event is called Streaming Our Stories, and I feel that these 2 poems are very much something that's very real in our communities. We have the tamal lady or the tamal man. We have our street vendors, our food vendors that are constantly, offering us these things, these nourishments, right, that are very much part of our culture. And I really do feel like these 2 poems fit into what we're doing with this event that we are bringing to everybody here in our community. Usually when I do this live, or when we do it with a crowd of people, I usually have a reaction, right? I have a reaction. But because in the poetry world, we tend to use these people, like the tamal lady, in a line. So this poem was really for the folks that use, our culture as decoration within their art. I feel like we need to give them more. We need to give them a book. We need to give them a poem. Like, it can't just be a one-liner. It has to be more recognition than that. And I feel that, these poems have been something that I've been working on for a really long time. And I'm so happy that we're able to bring this, even though we're in this, pandemic, and we're wearing masks, and I'm sweating bullets right now. But just know that we're doing all of this out of love for all of y'all. So my next poem is called The City You Loved. And I wrote this poem for a friend who I lost 22 years ago. The city you loved. You always claimed the city like it was your life depended on it. The city that gave birth to you, saw you grow, was the keeper of all your dreams, always shared with me. You claimed that it was your lifeline. You loved the city more than she ever loved you. She watched you disappear on the street of peace, not even ever warning us how painful it would be to say goodbye to you. You love the city with all its grittiness, with all her fragments of life that has grown when people come and go. You loved her hard, but at times I don't think she loved you back. Because you love this city, you held on to her as much as you could. If only you could be here to see her change, to see her glow at night, and how much she's grown. And I wonder if you have ever been amazed by the change. Sometimes I think you lucked out by leaving us soon. I believe you would have fought the change of this city that was so yours, just the way you fought for everything that caused displacement and fear. You would have been there yelling at the top of your lungs how she is your city, how much she is your city, how much you love her. She was deep in your heart and she watched you disappear in the daylight. I want to write your name around this city because she needs to remember how much you loved her, how you always walked down the street of peace smiling as the sun kissed your face. From South Central by the way of Islo, Salvadoreño, Guatemalteco, American as apple pie, and I swear I can hear you say, I'm not Mexican, I was born in East LA, as if you were spitting lines from Born in East LA. You love the city. You loved her, so I'll write your name all around the city because she needs to remember how much you loved her. So that poem, I feel a lot of us as a community, we tend to claim it. I'm very proud to be from Southeast LA. I grew up in Maywood. My brothers, my family migrated from Tijuana, originally from Michoacán and Sinaloa. My brothers were born in Tijuana. And, we grew up in that city and we're incredibly proud. And sometimes we have that thing of like, oh, you're from Maywood, or we're kind of a little ashamed. And I feel my brother's generation, both of my brother's generations, they were a little ashamed to be from Southeast LA, and so they left California or they left LA and they realized that, Maywood wasn't that bad, or not even that it was bad, right? But that it actually made us who we are, and we are very proud of who we are. And I feel like Maywood really it taught me so much, how to be humble, how to help your neighbor. And that's the thing about our community, is that it is an immigrant community. It is a community that's going through stuff really tough, but community always comes together. And I've seen Maywood and Southeast LA go through so many changes, and it has come together, and right now we're in that cycle of going through these changes, not only within our community, but other ones around, in and out of Southeast LA. No, luego me regañan. I have one more. And this is a poem that it's called Maria de Los Angeles. And my mom, again, she migrated from Mexico, from Sinaloa to Tijuana to LA. But her name is Maria de Los Angeles. And no one ever knew she was going to end up in LA. Maria de Los Angeles. I carry my mommy's name carved right into my heart, worn proudly for 37 years. Maria de Los Angeles. Sounds like it was meant to be written in cursive with all the embellishments, all the twists and turns of her name. Who named you, Ma? Your grandfather did. Didn't he have another name other than Maria? My mommy was the fourth Maria. She has 3 sisters with the name Maria, none of which went by the name Maria unless they were working. My grandparents called them by their second name or diminutive. It was the way the church wanted and requested all women to be named after a saint or a virgen. There was Maria Guadalupe, Maria Consuelo, Maria Elena, and my mother, Maria de Los Angeles. My mother didn't go by her second name. She went by some diminutive of Mari or Marie or Maria, Chankeles Maria. Or my cousin always spelled it Marie, like a white boy. Her name is so regal, and needed to be enunciated all the way. All 8 syllables needed to be formed. This was a name fit for her, Maria de Los Angeles, California. And then this one, it's called She's Fire. Sorry, guys. This one's called She's Fire, and this one was inspired by my grandmother. Quiero que nuestra historia sea de aquellas historias que me contaba mi abuela. She would clasp both of her hands together, hold them close to her chin. Pues mira nada más, tu abuelo me robó, ¿cómo lo ves? Pero yo no quiero que la mía se diga que me robaron. En mi historia quiero que se diga, pues mira, ella nunca quiso enamorarse de nadie y esa persona hizo hasta lo imposible para que ella le diera su atención. Era fuego puro. She was fire burning within every moment, stimulating growth and maintaining balance around her. She was fire, warm but hot to the touch, but not hot to the touch. There was pain and love that she held within her. The story goes that they wanted to continuously tame her burning fire when they were the ones who provoked it. She was fire, but only to fill the space with warmth and watch her thoughts grow. She was fire and often taken advantage of. She burned with anger, burned like no one else burned to anyone that lied and manipulated her fire. Quiero que mi historia cuenten que yo nunca dejé de querer, that they never could tame me, and that I was the light in their bleak life. Quiero que digan que mis gustos eran muy míos, and that I was loved that way, y que así amé igual, llena de pasión, llena de fuego, llena de calor que sana. That's it.
Thank you so much to Xitlalic Guijosa-Osuna. She's an incredible poet and such a great representative of what being from Southeast Los Angeles means. I'm so proud to call her my friend and call her a poet colleague of mine in this community.